Alright, so this is Unit 6. Alright, it is Day 2. It's Part B of Day 2. And we're going to be talking about law of sines and law of cosines. So far, we've been working with right triangles. We've been working with special right triangles. Okay, either that one or this one. We've also worked with non-special right triangles. Okay, right triangles that are not special. Like if you had 63 and you had 27. They're still right triangles, but they're not the special ones. Okay? And we use SOHCAHTOA with those. We use SOHCAHTOA with these, and we use the chart XX, x root 2, and so on and so forth with those. Now we're going to move on to something called non-right triangles. Okay? This one, where all the sides are different, is going to be called a scalene. And for the most part, that's what we're working with. We're working with these scalene triangles. If all sides are different, what else are all different? Angles. All the angles will be different. So we're going to use the law of sines to solve the missing measure of each triangle. Okay? My goal is not to encourage you to use law of sines for everything now. Some people think, oh, I'll just use law of sines and law of cosines for everything. It's good to also know these other methods because of speed. Okay? Because law of sines and law of cosines takes time. Okay? Alright. We're going to start by labeling the triangle. Okay? So start by labeling the triangle. We have two angles. We have one side. Is there anything else that we could label from what you see right here? We could do angle A right here. What is that going to be? And you can do that in your calculator if you want. 4079 subtracted from 180. So it'd be what? 119 from 180. You with me? 61. Cool. So this is going to be 61 degrees. Is there any else thing that you could possibly label? I would say there's one more. The other side. The other side from angle A. Angles are big capital letters, okay? You're going to have formula charts and stuff. The big capital letters are the angles. The sides that are opposite from them are the lowercase. Cool. Alright. So pick a formula. Now, I know it's been a while. I know it's been a long while for some of you. As far as I have possibly side angle side. Angle side side. Side side side. All those crazy what the heck were going on in geometry, right? This is where we finally are going to use some of that. And it just helps you identify, should I use law of sines or should I use law of cosines? That's it. Okay? So when I'm picking a formula, law of sines, is going to look like this. Just between two angles. Okay? And it's going to be the side over the sine of the angle, the side over the side of the angle. So I could choose these two, or I could choose these two, or I could choose those two. Ultimately, I'm just going to choose one pair of angles. Alright, which one do y'all want to solve for first? C, lowercase c, or lowercase a? What do you want to do? There's no right or wrong answer. C. Let's go for C. So I'm going to solve for C. So that means I have to have it over the sine of big C. What's big C? 40. Okay. Now we need to use something that we know everything of now because we have one unknown and we can only have one unknown out of all of these four pieces. Okay, so three of them we must know, and one is the unknown. There's a number. These need to be numbers. What should they be? 10.4. Yep, 10.4, which is lowercase b, over what?
Sine of 79.
Perfect, sine of 79. Okay, look at that, guys. We know 3. So that we can find that fourth one. Okay. what you would do from here. What would you do to solve for C? Cross multiply, or you can plug it into the solve feature. We're going to do both because I want you good with both, okay? Because there's non-calculator parts too. No, wait, let me take that back. For speed, I want you to know both of them, okay? So let's do what Tyler said first. Let's cross multiply. We're going to cross multiply these two and those two. Here we go. Notice how I write it. 10.4 times the sine of 40 degrees. There's multiplication right here. Equals C times the sine of 79. There's multiplication here. What's the next step if we do it this way? Get C by itself by dividing by sine of 79 degrees. Perfect. Okay? Now follow me. This cancels to what? Not to 0, but 1, right? It cancels to 1, so you're left with 1C. So it's C equals something over here on the left. Now, if I put this into my calculator, I can still get it wrong. If what? If I'm not in degrees mode, or if I don't put degrees. So it's always safe to do that, okay? So we're going to go to, I see you're working ahead. That's good. We're going to go to Sydney's calculator and see what her progress is. Oh, she chose to do the solve feature, no worries. Did anyone else already have this done as far as the work goes? 6 point, go ahead bud, sorry, 6.81 0, and that's it? Okay, 1 1. So we're going to round to 3, so let's leave it as that, okay? And we're just going to put meters. So this length of C right here is 6.810 meters. Perfect. Now we're going to verify it with Sydney's calculator, see if that's what she got with the solve feature. Bam, that's what she got. Notice that you could put any letter under the sun. You could put theta, you could put x, you could put c. But just like Sydney did, if you can see it, can't see it. The c has to match up with what you're looking for. Alright, so let's go back. We're not done yet because we still need to solve for what? For A. Alright, follow me. Stay with me because I'm trying to make sure that you don't have to do all this homework and still avoid the simple errors. What error do you think people do right now, knowing that they found C? What error do you think people would do to try to solve for A? Because of just being used to it from other problems that they've recently done. They would do Pythagorean theorem.
Because there's no right angle, so it won't work.
Perfect. Don't try to do Pythagorean theorem. You can't do Pythagorean theorem. Again, you cannot do Pythagorean theorem with this because there's no right angle. Okay? So that's why we do law of sines and law of cosines. Okay? So let's solve for A. I need to use this one right here. So help me set this up. It will be what? A over sine of 61 is equal to what?
10.4 over sine.
Now let me ask you this. We used these two. Could you have used what you solved for to find A? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes. Would I suggest that? If you're solid with your skills, yeah, I would suggest it. But if you're not solid, you could have a wrong answer here. Which if you use it to solve for A, you're going to have 2 wrong answers. So to me, whenever you first get going, I would prefer you to use the given with the unknown because it could at least give you 1 right answer of the 2 in case you make a mistake on one of them. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. All right. Hopefully Sydney, have you been doing the solve feature on this? Did you? Okay. Solve feature or whatever. What did you get for A?
9.26629.
So let's do the 3 decimals. 9.266.
266.
Cool. Meters. Done. Is the triangle solved? Yes or no? Yeah, it is. What does it mean when the triangle is completely solved? What does that mean?
There's no values left to find.
There's no values left to find. We found all the sides and we found all the angles. Done. Okay? So if you see a triangle and it says solved, that's what it means. And you'll see that on the quiz. Questions? Okay. So let's move on. We're going to find angle A. We're going to do this in groups. We're going to get participation points for talking. And we're going to get group points if you get the correct points. So please make sure you are talking with each other. I'll give you a good solid 4 minutes to do this. Go for it. So the recording has now started again. I don't necessarily want you to solve these out. Let's just set them up. Let's just set them up. Of the 6 triangles, law of sines can only be used on 2 of them to find the missing x. There's only 2 that these will allow law of sines, okay? Here we go. This is how you can do it. Look up here for the visual. Here we go. Law of sines is 2 pair. Side angle, side angle. You with me? Here we go. Visually, this angle is going to shine the light on x. Okay? That means I need to have another pair. This with this angle. How many unknowns am I allowed to have? 1. How many unknowns do I have right now? 2. Can I use it with this? No. Alright, here we go. Visually, there's my 1 unknown already has been taken up. Y'all with me? So, can I use this? Will this be acceptable?
Yes.
Yes, because there's only 1 unknown. Okay? This is how I would want you to do it, like on quizzes and stuff. Shining the light on that. There's 2 knowns. Okay? Shining the light, like a flashlight if you will, on that. Can I use it? Yes or no? Yeah. Again, what's the reason? Because there's only 1 unknown from these 4 pieces. Okay? Now I know that's the answer and there's only 2 and we're good to go, but let's make sure the other ones don't work, okay? Shining the light on 6, I have 1 unknown. Look at this. We don't know that angle, nor do we know that angle. So we cannot use this. Okay? 1 unknown, the same thing here that you saw on E. 2 sets of unknowns. Okay? And last but not least, unknown, but still unknown. Okay? And remember, only 1 piece can be unknown, not 2 or more. Cool. Alright, so that's a big thing of identifying that. Then I got to finish the day with this, and then we'll practice, and then we'll call it a day. And we have more than enough time to answer any last minute questions. Turn in your homework, we'll be good to go. We're going to grade the homework, by the way, together. Just quick 5 questions. Alright? Alright, last thing is law of cosines. Alright? So law of cosines is a little bit different. It seems like it's a lot more difficult because you have all of these equations. And so Maddie asked me the question just now as you guys were working on that problem. Will we need to memorize all these equations? Pre-P? Yes, all day. But regular classes you don't have to memorize, but you have to know how to use them, of course. So at the top of a quiz or the top of the test, all those equations will be there, and you have to know where and how to use them. Now I'm going to make this right here, instead of you trying to know how to use 3 equations, I'm going to change it up a little bit. This is the same as just using 1 equation. Okay, let me show you. And then it's multiplied by the cosine of the angle. You with me? Okay. And that angle, if you want to put capital A for angle, you could do that too. Here we go. It's all about this. I don't want want you having SAS. But if you were going to have SAS, well then have this SAS right here. This is a side. This is the other side. And the angle that is between those two sides is that one. Oops. Right here. So you're looking at side, angle, side. Bam. Okay? When you identify this, it's going to be law of cosines. And look, pretend that this is a light bulb, and this is like a flashlight. There's a lot of light coming, and it's shining the light on whatever this opposite side is over here. Can y'all see it, guys? Side, angle, side will shine the light. Okay, let's give it some light. Let's turn on the light. Whatever. And it's shining the light on the opposite side. Okay? Alright. So over here, that's what you have. You have the light is the angle, and it's shining the light over there on X. And then you have one side that's adjacent, and you have the other side that is also adjacent. Otherwise, side, angle, side. Okay? Here we go. So if I set this up as my equation to solve it, and I'm going to use the one that I just showed y'all with the opposite squared. Opposite is x squared. We don't know what this opposite side from the angle is. Okay? And it's equal to side 1 plus side 2, and this is side 1 squared plus side 2 squared, minus 2 times side 1 times side 2 times the cosine. You tell me, what should I put for side 1? Should I put 5.1 or 8? Or does it even matter? It doesn't matter. Who can tell me why?
Because there's multiplication.
Not multiplication yet on that piece. There's addition here and multiplication here.
Yeah, because no matter what order they're in, they're still going to become the same thing.
Addition, order doesn't matter. 1 plus 2 is 2 plus 1. Multiplication, the same. Order doesn't matter. 2 times 3 is 3 times 2. But whatever you put, I mean, just be consistent at least. Let's go ahead and put 5.1 squared. And we'll put 5.1 way over here. You ready? Then we could put 8 squared. We'll put 8 here. And then all we have to do is put minus 2 times those numbers times the cosine. Help me out. The cosine of what? 101 degrees. Whoops. Now, again, to me, the technology that you have readily available, I would rather you learn how to use it and get the answer. So I'm going to allow you to defer to this. And what will be here at the very end? Anyone? Comma what? Comma x. Okay? So comma x, and then close the parentheses. Does anyone already have that in their calculator?
Yes. Well, x squared equals 105.58, but then if you solve it, it'd be x equals 10.28, and then I have to go further off. So they
275. Okay. So x. Thank you both. Can y'all say that one more time, or any of you?
x equals 10.27 or 275, I think is what she got, but I rounded up to
2.8. Okay, so let's do 3. Don't round to 2 decimals. Let's round or truncate to 3. Okay. So 275. Don't miss this point on the quiz or test. Make sure you put your centimeters. Any questions from what we just did? Okay. So look, that one was fairly easy in my opinion because the unknown was here. So what we could have done is we could have written all this stuff over here and then just taken the what of it? The square root. We didn't even have to use the solve feature. The reason why I want you to get good with the solve feature is because what if the unknown was one of these sides? Then it gets a little weird. Okay? Or what if the unknown was the angle itself? It gets weird. Alright, so I want to make sure that you are comfortable with that. I believe it's just one. Again, this one we will do for points. Please do not look at the Google Classroom as far as for the answer. And I will award you with participation and group. Go for it. Alright, so this is the last problem on the video, okay? This one's a big problem, okay? This is where a lot of separate or different answers come into play. It has to do with what mode you're in. It also has to do, did you use solve or did you use insolve, okay? So, the answer that you should have gotten should have been 29.777 degrees, okay? And I'll get those points from you here in just a bit, but let's make sure that we solve this. To me, my first go-to, and this is important, guys, listen. My first go-to is to do what I was showing you with the law of sines, okay? Try to see that you have one unknown out of these two possible answers. Remember, you have one unknown, but you need to know three of them. You can't have two unknowns. I've just shaded something that has one unknown. Okay, and if I do another one, that has another unknown. Just like I showed you back here, that which ones you could only use for law of sines. And guess what? All of these, guess what we're going to use? We're going to use law of cosines. Okay? So when we come back over here, I am thinking of side angle side. Shining the light on the opposite, okay? So shining this like, I don't know if you want to even think of a satellite, throwing a signal out to the opposite side. Are you with me? Here we go. From here is the angle. Always put your body where the angle is at is a big rule, good rule of thumb. So it's going to shine the light way over here on 9. You have side angle side, shining the light on the opposite. We know the equation is opposite squared. Is that 9? Yeah. And it's going to be side 1 squared plus side 2 squared minus 2 times side 1 times side 2 times the cosine of x. Okay? Yeah.
For the satellite thing, why'd you put sine angle C?
Oh, because I'm crazy? That's an S. Okay, thank you for that. Thank you for that catch. Let's do, why do we have different answers? Okay? Guys, my unknown is this. For right now, with the knowledge that I know you know, do you think I want you to change your calculator to degree mode? Yes or no? I do. I want you to change it to degree mode. If the unknown that you're looking for is an angle, for now, change it to degree mode. Okay? So first step, let's do that with our calculator. So we'll come over here, menu 1.4, menu 1.5. Let's change this radian to degrees. So home 5.2, change this to degrees, make it my default, press OK. Let's go back. Now we're going to put this equation that we have into our calculator as a solve feature.
That'd be install.
Oh, okay, you jumped ahead of me. I was going to show the error and then I was going to say no, then you got to, it's okay.
Gotcha.
Alright, so comma x. If I put solve feature, you're going to get some weird answer. Hunter's above, he's way ahead of me right now. That means that you're going to have to put insolve in it.
So,
Okay.
quick question. On the very top, you have like all these formulas, right? And I know we came out to one, but like I used the very top one, even though like I labeled the angles as an.
That'll work too. Yeah, you could do that just like that.
Okay.
Yep. And if that's easy for you, go for it.
You could also like go through it and then use the inverse of cosine.
That's a lot of work, but yeah, you could do that as well. Inverse of cosine.
Would insolve also work on regular solve problems?
Insolve will, okay, this is a really good question too. Insolve will work on all regular problems, but it'll only give one of the answer. If a problem has 3 or 4 or 5 answers, insolve will only give one. Does that make sense?
Anything involving a function won't work. Like let's say if like you're trying to have zeros.
Yeah, it would only give one. It'll still work, but it'll only give one. So you don't want it for those reasons. Good questions. Good questions. All right, so let's go ahead and go to it. If you can please help me out. We'll see what we get. Oh wait, someone might already have it. All right, nice. So over here, oh, Sydney. So we are going to use Sydney's right now. She did put insolve, put everything in there really, really nice and well. Did comma theta there at the end. Control answer. Get you 29.777. Any questions? Alright guys, that's all I got for you for today on this video. We go ahead and stop it.